What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ASAP Automotive channel, and today we're back at it again with our project 6.0 here with our LSTJ, and we're episode 3 now of our little mini series on the wiring, the series within the series. And today we're going to be focusing on how to do your whole drive-by-wire throttle assembly with the throttle control module, and how to run your OBD-ll data link connector for the GM harness. So stay tuned. All right, so now we've gone in and we've cut out our section there. Sorry guys, we've already installed this thing and I really don't want to pull it back out, to be honest. We cut that section out and went ahead and ground it down and cleaned it up. And let's see if we can get a better shot here for you guys right there. So we cleaned it out, or cleaned up the welds and all that, and went ahead and painted it. And so that's what we ended up with there. We've got it bolted up, all up there. And you can see the connector up there. And you see this grommet sticking, or that hole right there in the firewall. There was a grommet there, and what we did is popped it out, because now what we're going to do is, all right, so this is that pigtail that came whenever you got your donor motor with your harness and ECM and all that. Remember, you said you wanted to make sure you had the throttle control module that we'll show you in just a minute, the pedal, and this harness here. So we were trying to figure out how to route this thing through. What are we going to do? And what we came up with, of course, you know, the white plug here plugs into the throttle pedal itself. We found that convenient little plug right there in the firewall, which is a perfect location. And what we were going to do is just pop it through like it normally went through in the GM with this beveled side here and let it catch. But the problem was, that hole's just a little too big and it can pop out too easy, and we didn't want that. So what we ended up deciding to do is we're going to actually, let's say this is your firewall here, this is the inside of the Jeep, we're actually coming through this way, because if you'll notice, it's a bit more, it's a bigger diameter and a bevel there, and it fits in there nice and smooth. So what we're going to do is go in and pop it in and put a little bit of silicone around here to go ahead and seal it on up. And we'll pop it in there, and it'll be in there. It'll be good. You won't have any issues with it. Pop it back out, because it really takes a lot of effort to get it back out. I know, because I just took it back out. So, and now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how we ended up mounting up our throttle control module and all that fun jazz. Okay, so if you'll notice, back in here is the what they call a TAC, the throttle actuator module for the GM computer and harness. And you've got this plug here, which comes in from your ECM harness, which it tells you right there, TCAM. And then the other plug-in is right over here, which is where the other end of this pigtail harness plugs in. And also remember, when you plug in this one in the throttle, once you plug it in, you pop this little lock in up in there, and it retains that, keeps it from popping back off. So we were trying to figure out where to mount this thing, you know, to where it's out of the way, it's kind of clean looking, you know, and dealing with, you know, the harness length we've got. And what we decided was, we'll stick it back here. It's out of the way, it's clean, and we just ran our connection from the harness there, and with that grommet, you can see it's right down there. Makes a perfect spot to come out up here. We're not anywhere near any exhaust or any major heat sources, and we can just come out and plug it right in. So what we did for mounting wise, we wanted to originally bolt it to the firewall, but we went inside, pulled the where the radio is, that whole bezel assembly, pulled it off, pulled the radio out, got back there and looked, and we couldn't really get to anything, but we could see there really wasn't anything there that we were going to hit. So on this side over here, there's actually a stud coming out. Alright guys, so as you can see, there's a stud coming through here. It's actually one of the studs that mounts the dash and HVAC assembly and all that. There's a nut on here. We thought about pulling that nut off and just bolting it right to there, but on the other side it created an issue, so we left the nut, put the module on there, and put a separate nut, and it gave us, you know, it lined it up just right. And we came back here on this other side and ran a couple of self-tappers Probably should have just talked about that side first. That would have made sense. And we still got to put the other one in here, but these, I went stainless just so they wouldn't rust on us. I think it was like a 1/4 inch by 1 inch or something. Self-tapping screw. So we went back there and made sure we weren't going to hit anything, like any kind of, you know, any wires or anything like that. The last thing you want to do is go drilling through and drill into a bunch of wires and end up with a bunch of shorts, and chasing that down would not be fun. So, but that's it. I mean, that's really all it took to mount that. It's nice and clean. It's out of the way. You've got enough, you know, if you routed the ECM the way we did here, you've got, you know, plenty of slack. And we're going to come back and reroute some of this a little bit better, maybe run it back behind here. But it was mainly to figure out where to mount that, because we'll, you know, it's a work in progress kind of thing. So next thing we're going to show you guys is how we're going to run the OBD-ll data link connector. All right, guys. So we, in dealing with the OBD-ll data link connector for the GM harness, a lot of people just run them down here, right next to the Jeep one and stuff, and you can, and that's cool. But with the whole kind of keeping it, you know, looking like there's, you know, I guess, I don't know, say stealthy or whatever, kind of concealed and clean. What we ended up doing was we ran the harness through the OBD-ll data link connector through that same grommet we ran the check engine light harness through, and we snaked our way up through the dash, and having the radio out and everything really helped make sure we're not laying or rubbing against anything we don't want to. And what we're going to do, and we're actually still in the process, what we figured we're going to do is come in here next to the latch, and we're actually going to make us a little, we actually have to move it back because this kind of bevels out a little bit and such. Right there, we're going to build this probably like a 1 inch by, I don't know, what's that, 2 inch little plate that we can weld on here or screw on here, and it'll actually move it back just a little bit because you can't get it back far enough to let the glove box close. But what we'll end up with is it right up in there, and when you open the glove box, it's right there. You pull the cap off, and once it's closed, you never even see it. So give it a nice little clean look. We thought about a few different things of mounting at other places, but that keeps it high and dry and out of the way, you know, rather than down here. We almost thought about maybe moving this one up in there somewhere too, so it's high and dry, but for now we're going to leave it be. So really, it's up to you guys wherever you want to mount that thing. It's just an idea we had. If you got any other ideas, man, feel free to leave them in the comments and below. So we'd love to hear your feedback on that. All right, guys, that's a wrap on episode 3 of our little mini series in a series on wiring on this LSTJ swap here, Project 6.0. So hope you guys really enjoyed it. Like I said, we love making these videos, have a blast doing this stuff, and love all the great feedback from you guys, you know, and some of the input from you guys. You guys have helped along the way with some ideas we didn't even think about. So we love the communication there, and we appreciate every bit of it. So if you hadn't already, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Stuff really helps. We're a growing channel, and you know, the more subscriptions and likes, stuff, you know, views we get, the more we can do to do better, give better content out there for you guys that you'll hopefully like. So don't forget to check out our sister channel, MacGyver's Workshop. My dad has got a ton of great videos over there, how-tos and all kind of fun stuff, quirky little videos, and some fun projects along the way too. So also remember, until next time, stock is not an option.